Oh, cool. It's working. All right. Hi guys, welcome back. So I am doing my very first live broadcast. I don't know if anybody is gonna get on here. I guess we'll see. But I thought I would go ahead and do this. I'm doing a get ready with me video. So I'm going to do my makeup and we can chat about what I've been reading, stuff I've been doing. Yeah, I haven't done this before, and it's fairly easy on an iPhone, so I thought I would give it a try. All right, yeah, so let's get started. It'll be interesting. Normally, these are like very edited. Okay, so I'm gonna start off with some moisturizer with SPF, and yeah. So I just finished reading Nevernight last night. Oh no, this morning. I finished reading it this morning. It's really good. Kids are at the park right now, so I am getting ready for the day. Happy Labor Day weekend, by the way. Okay, what do I need? Oh yeah, so I've got some eye cream, and this is Sephora brand anti-fatigue eye moisturizer. It like helps plump up under your eyes before you put makeup on it. Yeah, so Nevernight by Jay Kristoff. So last month I read Lifelike, and I loved it, and that basically convinced me to give Nevernight a try, and I also really, really loved it. I realize it's quite brutal. I understand it's like definitely brutal adult fantasy. I understand that it is not for everybody, but I really like his writing style. I'm very into it. Yeah. I don't know if anybody's actually gonna come while I'm on live. I guess we'll see. All right, next thing, oh, I need a primer first. So I'm going to prime my face before I do a CC cream, and for that I've got the Smashbox Photo Finish Foundation Primer in Radiance. I like this one. I have dry and more sensitive skin, and it's good for that. So I'm going to do this. Drop to the cap. There we go. It's so weird doing this live, guys. I haven't done that. I've done Instagram live before, but yeah, so anyway, Nevernight, man, it is, if you're not familiar with it, I mean, I think it's kind of a booktube darling. A lot of people are into it. Like I said, it's quite brutal. It's about a teenage girl who goes to a school to become an assassin to get revenge on the people who killed her family, basically. So it's quite bloody, but it's just very well done, and it's kind of an interesting format. Okay, I'm gonna do a CC cream, and this is IT Cosmetics Your Skin But Better Illumination, and it has SPF 50 in it. I really like this. It's great for just like everyday wear, and it gives pretty decent coverage. I like IT Cosmetics for stuff. So I'm gonna do that. Oh, somebody popped on. Cool. I don't know if I can see comments on here or how that works. Let me see. I don't know. Okay, well, oh, people are coming. Cool. I don't know if I can see the comments. I gotta like figure out how to make this work. Oh, there it is. Hey! Oh, cool. Okay, this is the first time I've done a live broadcast. This is very exciting. So I thought I would do a get ready with me and just chat about, okay, so the comments do pop up. I didn't know. I haven't done this before, so. Anyway, I was just talking about Nevernight because I just finished reading it and I really liked it. I need to write a review. It's definitely going to be 5 stars. But yeah, I have a thing, like female assassins and things at schools hit a lot of notes for me, so that works out pretty well. So I really liked it. It is weird. He writes with footnotes. It's kind of an interesting format. So it's written as if somebody is writing a historical text about the main character, and so it has footnotes that are often very funny and snarky. I love his sense of humor, but also informative. So a lot of world building happens. I think some people just read it, don't read the footnotes. You don't really have to read them for the most part, but I like them. It just makes it take a little while. Wait on Nevernight. Yes. Yeah, no, the footnotes are used really well, and he cracks me up. He has the funniest sense of humor. It is bingeable. I kind of want to read the next one, but if I think I just like his writing style. Not everybody is into it, but I really like it. And he's got a very dark sense of humor, but it's funny. And I feel like too, it's pretty, his stuff's pretty, it feels feminist-ish to me. Like it feels informed by being aware of issues to do with women in a positive way. So anyway, I finished that. I really liked it. Okay, I'm just using like a wet, it's not a beauty blender because they're really expensive. This is just like the Sephora brand one, and it's damp, so that does a good job of. And let me know if there's anything you want to chat about or what you've been reading lately. This is like the first book I finished in a few days. I think I had a crazy end of the month. My husband was out of town for a few days on a work trip, so I was just with the kids, and that was a little nuts, but it worked out. Okay, next up I'm going to do concealer. So this is also IT Cosmetics. I love them for concealers and foundations and CC creams. They're just really good for basics. So this is the Bye Bye Under Eye Illumination. It's so good if you need a full coverage concealer that looks, yeah, this is my favorite. I have repurchased it a number of times. Yeah, so that I just finished. I've barely started a few other books. I'm not very far into any of them, so I don't feel like I have a whole lot to say about them, but they're interesting. I've got what am I reading? The Phantom Tree is one by Nicola Cormack, I think. It just came out. This one's interesting. It's adult historical fiction, and it involves time travel and a mysterious painting. And so far it seems interesting. I'm not very far into it at all. I think maybe 30 or 40 pages, but I think I'm gonna like it. And I've been hearing other people, like Bree Hill, read it recently and loved it and said it's one of the best historical fiction books that she's read in a while. So I'm reading that. And then I'm also just barely into an arc of a book that's coming out this month called Unclaimed Baggage. It's a YA contemporary about, I guess it takes place I didn't even know this was a thing actually until I heard about this book, but apparently people who lose their baggage at airports, eventually if they go unclaimed, they go to these stores. The Silence of the Girls. Trying to decide if I should finish. Oh, interesting. I haven't heard, I don't know anything about that one. You'll have to tell me what that's about, Silence of Girls. I mean, it sounds intriguing. Is it a thriller? Oh, so the Unclaimed Baggage, right. It goes to these stores where people go through and sell the stuff that's in them. Apparently this is a thing. And so the contemporary book, Unclaimed Baggage, takes place at one of these stores and follows a group of teenagers that are working there. And anyway, it's an interesting concept. I think it's supposed to be, you know, kind of a coming of age thing. What do I do next? Sorry, my makeup. Okay, I'm gonna do my eyebrows next. And for this, I need to start a new one soon. This is the Pixie brow gel pen, something like that. Like most of it is off because I've been using it. An Iliad retelling. Oh, that is fascinating. Okay, yeah, I would be interested in hearing what you think about that, because that definitely sounds interesting. I might be into that if it's well done. Cool. Oh, is it the one with like the black and white cover from Doubleday? Is that the one that you're talking about? Because I've seen that around and it looks interesting. I just haven't been able to try to do anything else. Yeah, so this is, like I said, the Pixie Endless Brow Gel Pencil. I like this. It's just easy. You just kind of use little, it's got a blue cover. Huh. Okay, I'll have to look it up. Cool. That sounds fun. So I just use like small kind of strokes to fill in my eyebrows. I just like them a little bit more filled in. And this is relatively inexpensive. You can get them at Target. It's like a higher end drugstore brand. Yeah, Unclaimed Baggage. Yeah, it's a debut. Jen Dahl is the author. She lives in New York actually, and I met her at an event during BookCon, and she was really nice. So I'll let you know. I'll definitely put up what I think about it once I get through with it. I should be reading it soon. It's coming out this month. It sounds interesting, and I've heard some good things about it, but I think it's, a lot of times the debut contemporary standalone books kind of fly under the radar a little bit, but Okay. So, yeah, and then I've got, it's always tricky kind of balancing what to read. I have books out from my library. I've got a ton of arcs that I'm supposed to get to this month, and then I have other books on my TBR that I want to read, and so it's always like a little bit of a balancing act trying to decide what to read next and make sure I'm staying on top of the things I'm supposed to be reading, but also reading just stuff that I want to read for fun as well. I'll brush out my eyebrows a little bit. All right. Next, I am going to actually set this a little bit, hosting a readathon. Oh, yeah, that's a lot. Booknet Fest. I wish I could go. Maybe next year. Booknet Fest would be really fun. If you guys, yeah, definitely go check that out. It's in Florida, and I have friends going. I can't. My 4-year-old is starting school next week, and so yeah, things are just a little crazy, but that should be really cool. Okay, so for setting powder, I have the Kat Von D translucent setting powder. And since it is hot outside today, I don't want this all to just sweat off. So I like to take for under my eyes a little bit on a beauty blender and then just kind of gently tap it. This seems to be the best way to sort of set the under eye area without it looking cakey, but it keeps it from moving, so that's good. Yeah, I cannot believe my child is starting school. New York City's got universal pre-K starting at 4 years old, which is great, but it's like full day school, which is a whole new thing. So he's excited. He's starting. Yeah, it is a phasing in thing. So Wednesday we go in for like 20 minutes together just to do like a meet and greet, see the classroom, meet the teacher, who seems really nice. She sent all the kids a little card with a picture of her and a sort of welcome to my class thing over the summer, which was really nice. So he's excited. So we do that for 20 minutes. And then the next day, half the class goes in for 2.5 hours in different blocks. And then the next day, the whole class goes in for half a day, and then they go in for full days. So, okay, then for the rest of my face, I'm just gonna use this big kind of fluffy brush and powder everywhere. I'm glad it's finally a little bit cooler today. We've had like this crazy heat wave in New York. It was like 97 degrees 2 days in a row and muggy, so that was just not great. It's finally a little cooler, but I think it's gonna go back up to 90 again next week, which is a bummer. I'm ready for fall. I'm ready for sweaters and scarves and boots. I need to buy some new boots for the season. It's the thing in the city, not having a car. I kind of walk everywhere, and so I wear out my shoes so much faster. Okay, cool. Face is set. So next up, we're going to do contour. And the summer has been really weird. Rain, really muggy. Yeah, it hasn't been great. But I'm ready for fall. Not winter. New York in the fall is great. Everything up through Christmas, and then January, February, March is nasty and cold, and then can't wait for spring. Okay, so for contour, I actually got this recently in a little set. It's a Too Faced bronzer because the one that I've been using is kind of running out. This is Chocolate Soleil in medium. So I've got a contour brush, and I know I've said this in videos before, but if you guys want to know how to do like a really easy basic contour, yeah, the biting cold and wind, it's really bad in the winter. So you suck in your cheek, and you start right where that hollow is, and you want to go up into your hairline and just kind of do a diagonal line and then blend. So that is like the most basic thing, and it just creates a little bit of a shadow. It should look fairly natural. You don't want anything too crazy, but it just kind of makes you look like you have more cheekbones. That's the easiest thing. You can get crazy. People do crazy stuff with contouring sometimes. You don't really need to. This is kind of like if you want to do a basic thing, this is the way to do it. And just make sure you blend really well because you want it to look like it's a shadow under your cheek. I know, like, I don't have to wear makeup all the time, and I don't always, but filming days I do, and it's just fun. To me, it's sort of like an artistic outlet in a lot of ways. I enjoy it, so. Anybody else? I don't know. I know some people just don't like it at all. I think it's fun playing with colors and stuff. Okay, so there's that. And then next up is blush. And tell me, anybody, like what you've been reading. This is, what is this? The Tarte Amazonian Clay 12-Hour Blush in the shade Quirky, and I actually hit pan on it. I really do try to use my makeup up, especially because a lot of it is pricey. Some of the stuff I get drugstore, but things like this, they're expensive, and I don't want to just buy a ton of makeup and not use it because that's a waste. So I try to actually use all my makeup up to whatever extent I can. Okay, and then this goes right above where I did the contour, like that. What else can I talk about? I think my readings, like I said, partly because my husband was out of town, it's been a little bit slower for the last few days, but also I read a lot this month. I did 2 readathons. I normally don't do that many readathons, and this month I participated in 2 and read kind of like crazy, so I think I've sort of needed a little bit of a break for a couple days, but I finished Nevernight, and hopefully I can like start off strong with this month. Okay, so next up is going to be highlighter, and for that I'm going to use the Fenty Beauty Kilowatt highlighter in the shade Hustla Baby. I really like Fenty Beauty. I've tried a few of their products and they're really good. And then I've got this fan brush for the highlight, so just kind of dip that in, and then this goes on the top of your cheekbones. Anybody who's coming in, feel free to ask questions or tell me what you're reading or whatever. This is the first time I've done a live broadcast, so it seemed like I didn't really want to set up my whole camera just to like do a get ready with me video, so I was like, let's try this. I can do it on my phone, which is kind of fun. So you'll have to let me know if I should do this again in the future. Okay, yeah, so just like creates this nice glow. Yeah, she has good products. All right, we're like getting somewhere. Just have my eyes mostly left. So for the eyeshadow, I need a primer. Did I remember a primer? Yes, okay, good. I do. I had run out of a good primer, and so I just got one. Sephora is doing a sale this weekend, so I picked up a few things. So I've got the Urban Decay eyeshadow primer potion. I really like this. It's very good. Although I was a little bit annoyed when they started doing the wands instead of the squeeze tube, because I feel like you don't get to use all the product and it runs out faster. Like packaging this is a problem with packaging, right? Anyway, so you put this on. This helps, in case you're wondering, the eyeshadow primer helps your eyeshadow not crease and stay in place longer, so that's why you want to use it. You just put it on and then blend it in, and then you can do eyeshadow on top of that. Oh, man. Oh, another thing, I guess I'm trying to think, I've probably talked about this in other videos, but I'm really excited to keep going with the Remnant Chronicles by Mary E. Pearson. Kiss of Deception is the first one. I finally just read it during this readathon, book swapathon that Derby Lane Reads and Krista from Books and Jams hosted. And it's so good. I love her world, and so I've got the second book from my library, and I want to pick that up soon. But I've got all these arcs I've got to read too, so we'll see kind of what I get to do. Okay, so eyeshadow today. Basically my favorite sort of go-to, this was not that expensive for how much you get, but the Jaclyn Hill palette, I know it's, excuse the like fingerprints all over it, by Morphe. This was like $45, but it is one of, I mean, look at this. That's the color selection, and they're really, really good shadows, so it's definitely has been worth it. So I'm glad that I picked it up. What do I want to do? Just like something, I'm just going to do a really basic look. So I'm going to go into this shade, and for that I'm just going to use my finger and put it on my eyelid, like this. With these shimmers, I think that's just the easiest way to do it and get a good color payoff. You can use a brush. I'll use brush for other parts of it, but this is just the easiest, and you kind of get intense color that way, which I like. So there we go. Like, what else did I want to talk about? I'm trying to think. Talked about books, talked about my kid going to school. That's a whole nother thing. The New York City school systems, I don't know that many people care, but it is a very weird system. We moved here 2 years ago with kids, and so I've been kind of learning about it, and it is unusual. It's great that they have universal pre-K at 4. That is wonderful for public school, but there's also just some weird things, like you have a zoned school for elementary school, but then middle school and high school you actually have to apply, which is crazy. I've never heard of that happening anywhere else. And I get in theory why they do it, because I guess it sort of levels the playing field. People can get to better high schools if they perform well, but in practice it's a lot of work. I've heard that it's kind of a pain because you've got to apply to stuff. Okay, I'm gonna do a highlighter on my brow bone, and for that I'm gonna go into this shade right here and use a flat brush. Anybody else know of other places where the schools work that way? Most places, I feel like everywhere I grew up, you have a zoned public school all the way through. Yeah, dealing with New York City schools, it is really intense. And then they have things like for kindergarten, gifted and talented testing stuff. And some of these people are crazy. There are places that have tutoring centers for 4-year-olds to tutor them for these gifted and talented placement tests, which is nuts. I mean, my oldest child is very bright, so we might let him try the test, but I don't understand, like, treating it like the SATs and doing tutoring for 4-year-olds with that. I don't know. That seems a little extra to me, but yeah, it's an interesting thing. All right, so that's done. And then, like I said, I'm doing like a pretty easy look today. So I want a neutral matte shade in the crease. If I do, yeah, no, it is absurd for like kindergartners. It's insane. Like they're too young for all that. I agree, but yeah, it's an interesting world. Eyeshadow, right. So when I do a shimmer on the lid, it's too much if you do shimmer all over the entire lid. So I want to use a matte shadow in the crease that doesn't have that. So I'm going to go into this. It's just like a neutral matte shade with an angled brush. And then pull this through my crease and just kind of blend it out into the corner. Just creates a little bit more dimension, and then you get the shimmer on the lid, but you don't get it everywhere because that just becomes a little too much. I'm too old for all that. Unless it's like for cosplay or something. Which, by the way, anybody else going to New York City Comic-Con? I am going to Comic-Con. I'm very excited about it. Let me know if you guys are going and want to meet up or anything. I will be there Thursday with my youngest kid. I'm not going Friday, so I'll be there Thursday, probably Saturday and Sunday. And I'm excited. It's so fun. It's also it's like, if you want arcs that are easy to get, also that's a good place to do it on Thursday, especially because nobody goes there for the publishers, but the publishers have lots of books, so that's like a good trick. Okay, cool. So I'm happy with this. It's a pretty basic kind of everyday look for me. Easy eyeshadow. I'm gonna do some eyeliner and mascara. So for eyeliner, I've got the NYX Super Skinny Marker. Okay, this is a funny thing. I know a lot of people say that you're not supposed to like pull your eye when you do eyeliner. I don't know how else you do it. These beauty gurus, and this is hilarious to me. Okay, I'm just gonna do this. It's hilarious to me because I've watched these beauty gurus sometimes who are like, oh, I can't do eyeliner on camera, and turn off the camera and then come back with eyeliner. And I think, you can do anything on camera. How is it that you can't do eyeliner on camera? That makes absolutely no sense. I think it's just because they do it like this and can't and don't want people to know. That is my theory about why they're like, oh, I can't do my eyeliner on camera, because that's just ridiculous. I don't know, I think it's silly. But yeah. This I like. It's a good drugstore one, and it's, you know, kind of like a marker, so it's a mix between liquid liner, but it's easier to apply. So yeah, I don't either. I have seen some people do it. Maybe if you have lids that are just not creased at all, you can manage it. I've seen people who are able to do it. I cannot. I don't know how else. Yeah, it's funny, but people say that. I think because they think you get wrinkles that way or something. I don't know. Whatever. I don't care. It's kind of funny. Okay, so for mascara, I currently don't have a lash primer, and I don't like wearing false lashes, plus my husband thinks they look really weird and they're a pain to put on, so I'm like, if you think they look weird and I don't really enjoy putting them on, I don't do it. So instead, I'll do a lash primer to make them look kind of longer, or if I don't have that, I will use a mascara and then another mascara on top of it. So that's what I'm gonna do today. So I have fully charged magnetic mascara by Pure, which I've been using under things. I like it. I think it does a good job of sort of coating the lashes before I put something else on top. Yeah, I don't know. False lash thing is so strange, and it's really hard to do. I have done it, but it is kind of a pain. I don't understand. Like, I know there's people who wear them like all the time. And then, do you guys know about this lash extension thing? It's so weird. But people get lash extensions, but then you can't really wash your face. I mean, you can, but you can't like tug at your eyelashes, and it's so expensive. And then they have to get them filled like every 4 or 6 weeks or something. It's just, it seems a little bit nuts to me, but people do all kinds of things. All right, so that's gonna be my base coat, and then on top of that, I have the Too Faced Better Than Sex mascara. I don't know that it really is, but it is a good mascara. And I kind of like getting these little sample sizes because you're really supposed to change out your mascara every few months. They're like, and the large ones, especially from pricier ones, it's so expensive, and then you don't use it all up. But yeah, this is a really good mascara though. The full size is something like $25, but really you can just get a sample size, and a lot of times you can get those for like $12. And like I said, this weekend, Sephora has a sale, which they only do like twice a year, so if you need makeup, that's a good time to go get it out. I think for members, it's 10% off. I bought a lot of makeup last year and got up to their next tier, so I got like 15% off. I don't think that's gonna be true next year. Like, yeah, I probably spent too much on makeup, but I'm happy. It's probably the palettes. The palettes are expensive, like eyeshadow palettes. They're really expensive. And then some people just like keep buying them to review or talk about or want all. I am happy with the palettes I have. I'm going to use them up, or mostly, before I think about buying another one. It just seems a little excessive and unnecessary to me, but yeah. Anyway, okay. There you go. So yeah, it's good. It's good mascara. All right, next, we're just gonna do a little bit with lips. I'm doing a lot of Too Faced products today. I don't always, but today is like I do like a lot of their stuff. So first I'm gonna use, this is my favorite if you want a plumping gloss that actually like works decently well, I think. I mean, nothing's gonna be massive because it's just without getting like injections or something, but this is the Too Faced Lip Injection Extreme Plumping Gloss, and I like it. I think it actually does work to kind of, not forever, but it lasts for a little while. It plumps your lips up a little bit, so I like it. So do a little bit of that. And I'll let that set for a minute, and then on top of that I have the Too Faced Melted Matte Liquid Lip in the shade Sellout, and this is just like a nice neutral lipstick to put on, so kind of goes with anything. This is kind of a basic summer look. Yeah, it's pretty. And this will dry down pretty matte, but it's comfortable, it's not too drying, and it's fairly long lasting. All right, that is that. And then I'm gonna do some setting spray. This is the Pixie Makeup Fixing Mist. I like their mists, they're nice and they feel good, especially on hot days. That's great. Okay, that is it. I am done with my makeup. So it was fun hanging out. Yeah, thanks for those of you who've come in, and I will make this live. Thank you. Yeah, that's fun. I mean, this is like a day if I like want to look like I'm wearing makeup, but not do anything too crazy. This is like it's like a good summery look. So anyway, it was fun hanging out with you guys, and thanks for commenting. For those of you guys who are seeing this video not live, feel free to comment below and chat with me. Yeah, let me know if you'd want me to do this again. This was kind of fun and easier than I thought to set up, so I might do this again in the future. Yeah, give it a Like, I'm used to doing this on a camera. It's funny, first live broadcast, but I think this is going pretty well. So give it a thumbs up, like, subscribe, and I will see you guys next time. Have a great Labor Day weekend.